For today's cup of coffee, back scratchers.
Yes.
We found some. It was he's done tore it up. Oh my goodness, he's tore it up.
That's not my fault.
No, actually, we've got some of these telescoping things. He really did tear it up, but he can fix it. Little super glue can fix that. That was a bundle.
That's a cheap ass.
Well, of course it was. What did you expect?
Something to be a little put together.
That was
better
like
than
$1 a piece.
Did you hear the sound that it made? I don't expect a damn.
It's okay, but it was a set of 4 at Tractor Supply. Make great gifts. Great gift items. Everybody needs a back scratcher.
Whoa.
But when you have a youngest kid that can tear up an iron bar,
I can't. That wasn't my fault. I can't tear up an iron bar either.
but we were talking about the ASMR thing, which has nothing to do with the video.
Yes.
But I'm one of these people that tactile. That is the ASMR. It has to be tactile on me. The watching the videos and stuff like that does nothing to sounds. But as far as going to a salon, they used to just call them beauty parlors, and letting somebody wash your hair, that's a little slice of heaven if they do it right.
Yes.
Some people, they're painful. That ain't. It's like, no, I don't have to pay people to hurt me. You know, you can get that out on the street for free.
Those poor African braiders. Oh God. Those women will pull hair out.
Yeah, I couldn't deal with any of that. I really couldn't. This is an interesting
Because
site.
it ain't for your hair.
No, it's one of those that no. We've got some over the next few cups, science-based, but it's weird science. Science. Because
Weird science.
Yeah, that and the What the Fuck Files, we would be a total channel on that, but no.
A separate channel.
We
What
really
the Fuck
could.
Files.
We could.
WTF.
But this was pretty
What the
interesting.
files? What the files? There you go.
No, it's an occasional addition to our
WTF?
We've got
what
a
the
lot
files?
now. It's like that one guy. He's got the Why Files that I've been binge watching, and Marius had suggested him really good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, if you're looking for high production value, go watch that channel. We are Pirate Radio. We are your local pirate radio station. It's just across the hill. So, yeah. And I'm sipping. I've got this weirdness with the instant coffee the past few days. I don't know what has happened.
And I'm mortified because you're drinking instant coffee, and that is some of the worst coffee in the world.
It's my emergency coffee.
You're not even out of your
No, I'm not.
bad coffee or good coffee. Bad coffee. You're not even bad.
There is no such thing as bad coffee. There's
Instant
just
coffee.
No coffee is bad. The rest of it, it's like it's tolerable.
Bullshit.
Like I said, the no coffee thing, that's what freaks me out. Anyhow, we do have, this is the first of our science things. Interesting. This comes from Live Science and is by Nicoletta, Lanese, November the 8th of 2022. And 2 people in the UK are the first ever to receive transfusions of lab-grown red blood cells. Yeah.
I have heard of that.
And it says the pair are healthy volunteers in the recovery and survival of stem cell originated red cells, the RESTORE trial, a one-of-a-kind clinical trial taking place at Addenbrooke's Hospital in Cambridge. The trial will ultimately include at least 10 participants, each of whom will receive a tiny transfusion of about 1 to 2 teaspoons worth of lab-grown red blood cells. According to a statement, the goal of the trial is to compare how well these lab-grown cells survive in the body compared with standard red blood cells from a donor. Each trial participant will receive 2 mini transfusions, one with standard cells and one with lab-grown, spaced 4 months apart. The order of the transfusions will be randomized. Scientists expect the lab-grown cells to survive longer than standard cells, mostly because standard blood transfusions contain cells of varying ages, while lab-grown cells can be made fresh. And that's true, because your body, makes blood cells all the time, and then, you've got, so, yeah.
Okay.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Chief Investigator Dr. Cedric Gerhardt. Close enough?
Don't ask me. You've already lost me because this is science shit. I don't
A professor in transfusion medicine and consulting hematologist at the University of Cambridge and National Health Science Blood Transfusion transplant, said in a statement, quote, "If our trial, the first such in the world, is successful, it will mean that patients who currently require regular long-term blood transfusions will need fewer transfusions in the future, helping transform their care," end quote. People who require regular blood transfusions, such as those with sickle cell anemia, face a risk of iron overload, in which excess iron accumulates in the body and damages organs. In addition, repeat transfusion patients can also develop antibodies to target specific proteins or antigens on the surface of red blood cells. These antigens distinguish the different blood groups, including the major groups A, B, AB, and O, and the lesser-known minor groups that are challenging to match between blood donors and recipients. When transfusion patients develop antibodies against specific blood groups, this puts them at risk of life-threatening immune reactions and therefore limits the types of blood that they can receive in the future. Have I totally lost you?
Nah.
Okay.
You well, sort of. Yeah, kind of. You do. I know you got the rare, one of the rare blood types.
Well, yeah. And Dr. Farag Shah, the medical director of transfusion for the NHSBT, said in a statement, quote, "This world-leading research lays the groundwork for the manufacture of red blood cells that can safely be used to transfuse people with disorders like sickle cell," end quote. Ideally, the work will not only reduce the number of transfusions such as patients need, but also allow medical researchers to grow rare blood cells in the lab. Shaw said, quote, "The need for normal blood donations to provide the vast majority of blood will remain, but the potential for this work to benefit hard to transfuse patients is very significant," end quote. For the new trial, scientists extracted stem cells from blood donated by adult volunteers and allowed those cells to mature in lab dishes. The stems were hematopoietic, meaning that they could only mature in red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Don't even ask me to try to do that again. The team then ran the mature cells through
half a brain cell running right now. I need...
Well, then look for a mature cell. The team then ran the mature cells through a filter normally used to remove white blood cells from standard donations. Finally, they tagged the purified red blood cells with a radioactive marker so they could track the cells in the body post-transfusion. So far, no untoward side effects were reported in the two trial participants, according to the statement. After the trial concludes, more research will be needed before lab-grown blood cells can be widely used. And this can be a really cool thing if it works without doing some kind of Frankenstein something. Just leave them, it'll be all right.
Too late. I'm right at the mic.
Drop my glasses.
My face is right at it.
It is. But within this, there's always going to be the possibility that somebody's going to do something stupid with it. And if they could get to the point where they could grow red blood cells and different things like that.
I thought they were already doing that. Like, I could have sworn that I've heard about people doing that, like, years ago.
Not that I'm aware of.
I could have sworn I've heard of them doing that already.
It's probably that Mandela effect thing going on.
Bullshit. Bullshit. I've seen it. I read shit about it.
Okay. I'm not going to argue with you. You're getting escalated.
You telling me I'm getting escalated will get me escalated.
God help. Anyhow, for people who do have some of the rare blood types, that if it's a rare blood type, you're going to have fewer donors. So that would be very beneficial. And I was just trying to think of other conditions other than anemia and stuff, or the sickle cell anemia, that could possibly benefit from this. What?
I got anemia. My favorite snack is iron bars. I've been licking the iron bars of the bed for days.
I did that as a small child. I did do that. I did, because I was anemic. Now he's talking about as far as the rare, it's a matter of Rh negative factor. It's not that rare. I mean, I think they said like 15% of the population.
Rare. Is it not?
It's not
It's a
common.
rarer.
Yeah, it's not common. But there's some blood types that are even more rare. That's where, I can't remember what it was. It was like Rh null.
How can you have a null?
Somebody did,
blood
and I
type?
think they were very few, like, I don't know, maybe a handful of people.
Those are the aliens
Possibly. Possibly.
that have not woken up.
But
Clones.
really, with what we're seeing going on with the science these days,
Science?
would I be very dubious of anything that had been lab grown? Hell yeah. I think anybody would. Because they say they putting in red blood cells, and I'm going to totally go down the conspiracy thing here. But what are they? What are they?
Lab grown shrooms.
No, we've got a story about that in a couple of cups. So I hope that this works well for the people that did receive this, that are participating in this trial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting to read about, and
It is.
and to, like, you know,
And to ponder. Because during emergencies and stuff, could they ever... At this point, he said that it would never replace regular blood donations. At this point. Mm-hmm.
I could have sworn I heard about them doing that like years ago. I think
Could it have been that they were talking about the possibility of it?
maybe, I don't know.
I know that we
But-
were discussing as far as when you donate plasma, that they put the red
were
blood
talking
cells
about,
back
like,
in.
like they were talking about like growing, you know, blood cells in labs and such for blood transfusions.
Hell,
and
they're
such
growing
like that.
everything. They're growing everything. And
It was along with like that time, like lab grown body parts was just becoming a thing.
right.
You know, like like 3D printed noses or such like that.
There was a story just a few days ago where this lady, that they were able to regrow her a nose.
Yeah, on
She
her
had-
arm.
Yeah. Did you read that one too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I saw it on TikTok as well.
Of course you did.
Yeah, you can get a lot of news faster on there.
It cannot replace sitting and reading an article, really. But because when I read, that makes me an active participant. But I think that she had had some kind of cancer, that they had to remove her nose, and that, the prosthetics come off. But with this, there's a low percentage of, of a chance of rejection, because it is her body.
Yeah, it is her own skin, so it more than likely won't reject.
I hope that she does well with it.
Yeah, I hope it looks like her actual nose,
Yeah.
like her natural nose.
Yeah.
No,
But God love her. I mean, there's things that we don't think about. Some of the challenges that people have.
yeah,
And this is like that show that we had watched there for a while, that they were doing the prosthetics.
yeah. It was on Discovery Plus, and then I lost that subscription.
And so that was giving people's lives back,
Yeah,
to where they didn't, feel freakish when they went out in public and stuff.
mm-hmm.
I mean, you could tell it was a prosthetic, and that's
yeah.
okay. Nobody cares.
Nobody gives a shit.
But it keeps people from staring. And, and people do that. And it's like that.
I mean, people are going to stare at disabilities anyway.
Sure.
So, in my opinion, this is just how I view it. Why not just make it the most weird and artsy that you can?
Yeah.
Like that lady who had that spike.
Right. The amputated leg.
And the and the one that glowed.
Yeah. Yeah, that was when she was a dancer anyhow,
Yeah,
but that was just gorgeous, the way that she did that. And so it does give people that may very much feel isolated because of whatever issue that they have, that gives them some hope.
I've seen so many people on TikTok literally make prosthetic pieces that were pieces of art that people could wear.
Right. And it's not as uncommon, or at least that is one of the positive things about TikTok and stuff, that, you know, with the amputees and different challenges, and that I applaud. It's not all bad. No. It's not all bad, but the degree of stupid, it's just, yeah.
I don't know, that girl who like had the nubs, who had the nub, and she was like, look, see, when I do this, it's hard, but right here, squishy,
right,
squishy. But when I do this, she was slamming it against the thing.
Right. Now, was she an amputee, or was it a matter of a birth defect?
Birth defect, but also like it had to be amputated because of a birth defect.
Right.
So
well, that's just like as far as the sickle cell anemia, and that's a blood,
it's like arm thing.
Right. The sickle cell anemia is where the red blood cells, some of them break sort of in half, and they are semicircular. And they do look like a sickle, so that's what it is. But they can also, it can cause clots, because it impedes the flow of blood. And this is in people's that they have a genetic component that prevents them from getting malaria. But so it's a double-edged sword on that. Yeah. And from what I've heard, that the condition can be very painful. And I'm sure that it probably could be lethal. So if this, you know, these man-made red blood cells works,
they can help a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. That would be great.
Yeah.
So let's hope that it does. Let's hope that they're not putting some kind of something in there that they shouldn't.
I'm sure they're going to misuse it some way, somehow, somewhere. But, you know, for the good that it will help, or for the good that it will do.
For the hope that they will use it for good.
Well, there will be people that will use it for good.
Yeah.
So.
Because I have been fighting as far as the total black pill for a few days now. I think other people have been also.
A few days?
Yeah, well. So it's a matter of hoping that there is still someone that wants to help others. Because that's what we're supposed to do.
There's a lot of people out there that want to help others.
Yeah, I guess it's just the other ones that when they do something bad, it is so heinous that, and, you know, the media is
the way
what it is. It just,
the media is the media. And it
grabs onto that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there doing good work, you know, in the medical field and all these other fields that and nobody ever knows that they're there.
The media never documents the good stuff because that's not news. They want views. They don't want to document actual news.
Right, it's all sensationalism.
Yeah,
it's all that. But let's hope that these folks do well and that this is something else that can be put in positive arsenal. We need more of that.
Yes.
But it was just a weird science thing. Yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
If you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, weird science tales, send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And the link to the article and the sources that are in the article will be there in the description box, as will the email address.
Yes, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all, and have a good.
Know that you're loved. Know that what you're doing out there, doesn't matter if anybody knows about it or not, that you got purpose. Now, if you're doing bad stuff, that is not going to help anybody. But we've got so many talented people that listen to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really cool people. I believe in them. And we will see you on the next cup.
Bye.
Bye.